Welcome to SibSpot. Today's stories are about entitled parents. Our first story is from Reddita478. Entitled dad lets kids run around the store, only have the karma get him within the hour. This story is a few years old, but another story reminded me of this. Here's the cast. ED, entitled dad. D1, ED's oldest daughter. D2, ED's younger daughter. S1, entitled dad's son. SC, sweet customer. Me. A few years ago, I worked in a grocery store. One day while working the front desk, I noticed ED comes in with his 3 kids. These kids were awful. They were running around the store while their dad was shopping. The oldest of them, D1, was maybe 10 years old, and the youngest, S1, was probably 6. I, at one point, had asked S1 and D2 to stop ramming the carts together and into displays as they were trying to joust with the shopping carts. Edie was nowhere to be found. I also had to ask S1 to not open the cereal boxes and dump the contents on the aisle floor. He was looking for toys. Edie saw me talking to his kid and literally turned around and walked away. Then SC comes up to the desk carrying a package of ground beef that is covered in holes from fingers. Turns out that the kids had poked multiple value packs of ground beef, pork chops, and chicken breasts. There were about $60 worth of wasted product because they had poked holes in the plastic wrap. SC also said that she had asked ED to get his kids under control, and he told her to mind his own business. Finally, they came to check out as a group. S1 had knocked over half of the display candy onto the floor. Again, ED said nothing. The cashier rang them up, and I thought I was finally rid of them, only to see ED stomp his way over to the desk with his receipt. D1 and D2 took the cart and began to load the back of his pickup truck. This is important. Well, S1 came with ED. Entitled dad claimed he was overcharged for an item. He didn't use the coupon, and I fixed it with my best customer service smile, and ED and S1 left. The girls had loaded the truck bed with groceries and left the cart to the side. I didn't expect anything less. And Edie and S1 got in and drove away. Now the karma gods were looking down on my store that day because the girls forgot to do one little thing. They had left the back of the truck open, and all his groceries flew out while he sped through the parking lot. He didn't notice until he got home. I get it that it's fun to stick your fingers in taut plastic wrap for the pop it makes, but to allow your kids to do it at a store to unpurchased meat, that's destructive, and he should be barred from entry until he pays for it. Our next story is from Reddit, but it was reposted to Imager, and the person that provided the initial screenshots uses a light theme rather than the dark theme that I normally use, so apologies in advance for the white. Mother tried to get me fired for corrupting young children with sinful and satanic behavior. As preface, I don't worship Satan. I play Dungeons and Dragons. So last year, I got invited to work as a swim coach at the country club where I first started swimming, as I no swim at the D1 college level. This was an incredible opportunity for me, and I loved it. I am very well liked by almost all the parents, even some I've known for over a decade. The entitled mother in this story was pretty new, only being there now for a year. Last summer, I had started getting into Dungeons and Dragons, and honestly, I love it so much. I was at a game store looking at getting new dice and books while having a guy there explain miniatures to me when entitled mother came in, as she had seen me outside. She was very nice and asked me what I was doing there. I said I was here to get some stuff to play D&D, and that's when things turned bad, as she started to call me a Satan worshiper, saying her piece, then left. I thought that was the end of it. Boy, was I wrong. The next day at practice, I was with this little 5-year-old boy who I had known since he was born, and the entitled mother came over to yell at me not to corrupt him. After yelling at me, the little boy's mother came over to me and asked what was going on. The entitled mother said I was a Satan worshiper, and maybe worse, insinuating I was a pedophile. This mom had known me since I was a little kid and helped her babysit her youngest 2 children, and was always best friends with her oldest kid who had Down syndrome. But he was the coolest guy I ever met, and he and I did private lessons all the time. Looking confused, I explained the situation, and the mom helped me to get her to back off. Yet it still didn't end there. She talked to other parents of the club to get them against me. Unfortunately for her, I was the club's golden boy, a title I don't really like or care about. I got it for being the team's best swimmer ever and really good with the kids. When this didn't work, she went to my boss and the head coach. Now, the head coach didn't like me, as I had tried to get her fired. There's several reasons I did this. Mainly, she, as the head lifeguard, left no one there to watch the pool, to go on dates, and then got a promotion. I got treated poorly, but when going to the higher up, she was let go. I had also known him since I was a kid as well. In the end, the entitled mother didn't get her way, but she had tried to take my job away for a hobby. I am still super into D&D, and she still claims I'm a violent Satanist. She says this as she found out I love hard rock and play video games. But I was lucky because I knew all these people. It's sad because to avoid dealing with this, I don't think I will be applying again this year, which is upsetting because all of the memories there, and it was all ruined by a game meant to help people connect socially, be creative, use problem solving, and just have fun. Dungeons and Dragons, video games, and rock music do not a Satanist make. But there are crazy religious nuts out there who think Harry Potter and the Polar Express movie is satanic. There was even a woman who thinks that Monster energy drinks promote Satan. Her video analyzing it went viral. Not because she's got valid evidence, but because she's nuts. Crazy people will do anything to find issues with something if you give them enough time. None of it is ever valid. Religions tend to draw in some of the more insane people, too. The following story is by Nomadicus Rex. I get injured on a delivery. Karen berates me because the delivery is taking longer than usual. So last night was fun. I am disabled due to a hit-and-run driver. I don't get disability, so on my good days when my back isn't hurting too much, I do delivery for a popular online retailer that also owns a chain of grocery stores. Last night, I started my delivery shift. Of course, Karen's being Karen's, the first order, which is upstairs, also includes cases of water and gallons of water, because of course it does. Since this apartment complex decides that 24-point type is an appropriate script to write their unit numbers on, instead of anything that, say, a paramedic or delivery person could see from any distance, I'm out of my car, on foot, looking for the apartment since Karen did not answer either my text message or my phone calls, asking for help locating her delivery location. While I'm on foot heading back to my car because I think I've spotted the correct building number, a large and aggressive dog comes at me. I run and get in my car, but not without falling, twisting my ankle, and biting down so hard that I chipped a tooth, which sucks. I get in the car. The dog is now gone. Don't know where he went. Did the owner of the dog catch it? I don't know. I was in the car in pain, catching my breath. So I call on the road support folks, who generally are pretty helpful, and get permission to return this delivery to the store. And then Karen calls me back. I do not know why I answered. My can-do customer service instincts? But I told support, hold on, it looks like the customer is actually calling me back. Let me see if I can get this order delivered. Oh, man. So I answer. Karen starts demanding why I haven't delivered the order yet. I told her, hey, I just got injured by one of your neighbor's dogs. My ankle is hurt. Can you give me a little help here finding your place? I just want to get you your groceries. And Karen goes on a rant about how the groceries aren't for her, they're for her daughter, who is a nursing student with a large protective dog. And her daughter normally uses a folding wagon for groceries. Maybe she'll come downstairs and help me grab those groceries. Nope. Karen's daughter does not want to do that. But she'll make sure to keep her large protective dog inside. I'm left wondering if this is the same dog that tried to eat my liver. I told Karen that's okay. While I am expected to deliver the groceries to the door, dispatch has given me permission to return the order to the store. I can complete the order. The pain in my ankle hasn't set in that much, adrenaline and all. And Karen insists on me staying on the phone with her the whole time. And the whole time she's going on and on about how she wanted the delivery completed by a certain time, and now it's not going to be delivered on time. I told her, I understand that. I did not expect to be having a dog come after me, nor to get hurt, but I'm completing the delivery in spite of being injured. Why was I so stupid? I couldn't put much weight on my ankle, so I couldn't carry as much as usual, and it took me a long time. So it took me about 4 to 5 trips to get this lady's stuff all in front of her daughter's door. The nursing student daughter who never so much as poked her head out to see if I was okay. Karen was angry at me this whole time, talking about how I raised her blood pressure so much her chest was hurting. Huh? How's that? By delivering her grocery order and taking longer than usual to do so? I don't know yet if she called the company to complain, but it was the next to worst delivery I've ever been on. The worst being in 2018 when some yahoo out in the middle of nowhere decided to shoot at me for bringing something that they ordered. Thankfully, the guy was a bad shot, and no, they did not get their delivery, and they were banned forever, but the police did nothing to the dude. So it's the next day. I slept for like 10 to 11 hours, and I'm posting this. My ankle seems to have a mild sprain, my other foot hurts, and my tooth is still chipped. I'm waiting back to see if I'll get paid for the amount of time I had to work over thanks to this nonsense. Independent contractor work. Yay! Fun times! The woman berating her is definitely wrong in doing so. She could easily say, "Sorry, my employer says I no longer need to fill this order due to an aggressive dog and an injury. Take care." It'd be so easy. But if she's like me, she's trying to avoid confrontation at any cost. Only 3 stories for today's episode, as some of them were pretty long. Entitled parent stories are some of my faves. I hope you guys enjoyed them as well. Until we meet again, have an amazing day.